Yet to be afternoon. Okay. Here I am to talk about the forgotten art of storytelling. But looks like, we haven't forgotten the art. So you heard three speakers speak about their own stories, different stories, right? I don't think we have forgotten the art, but yeah, it is. It's different now. So what I would like to bring upon here is a small story from my side to start with. One of my uncles, he lives in Mumbai. He's aged about 75. So he was walking through the VT station. That time it was called Bombay VT, today it is called CST. So I think this was when I was 15, 25, 28 years ago. So you can actually go to count my age, right? So he told me that there was one individual who used to buy soaps outside the VT station and take it home. And after a few days, he started selling the same soap outside the VT station. So this was the Lux soap, very famous then. It used to cost 1 rupee. And he started selling about 600 to 800 pieces a day. So why he thought about this is because it was very inconvenient for him because the store which was there was on the opposite side of the VT station and they had to walk quite a distance to buy that, come to the VT station and go home. So he said, okay, I will start selling this soap outside the VT station. He buys 600 pieces from the store at 1 rupee each, comes to the VT station and starts selling it. What is he giving? He's giving convenience to the customer. The customer doesn't need to go there. Did this for months, and there was my uncle who got curious about it. He said, यार मैं तेरे को देख रहा हूँ, इतने महीनों से सोप बेच रहा है. They don't give a discount. You buy it in wholesale, you buy it, together 100 pieces, 1,000 pieces, they don't give you a discount. So what is it that you're making out of it? So he said, it's a secret. So then my uncle did some research and he found that he is selling the carton box, the empty carton box, which is coming out of the 800 soaps. So there were about 40 carton boxes and each carton box was 1 rupee each when you sell it outside because it was reused and recycled. So that 1 rupee in 1960s today is 100 rupees. So imagine 40 carton boxes into 100, 4,000 rupees a day, just coming out of office 15 minutes early, picking those boxes and selling it there. So had I not told you this story like this and given you some data, saying that this individual made 4,000 rupees profit by selling 10 carton or 40 carton boxes at 1 rupee each. So, power of storytelling for me. If I had done some graphical representation, your attention wouldn't have been the same as you gave me the attention now. So our attention spans have decreased. What is a story? I just narrated something. That is a story. It was an emotion. There was a message behind it. That's a story. What is storytelling? I think this is an art and a little bit of a combined science. How do you connect with your audience? The listener should understand your language. The storyteller should understand who's the listener. Right? I cannot go and talk to somebody in Hindi who doesn't understand the language. I just took a basic example. So similarly, there are different topics that we cover, and I do not need to get into that. Today you're talking about something and you say, okay, let me move to politics, let me move to something else. Does the audience connect with you? No. So be connected with the audience, be a good storyteller, by understanding what your listener needs. Why do we need storytelling? I just gave you an example. It's needed because, the recall value is high. There is an emotion attached to it. There's a message attached to it. There's an experience attached to it. You need to, as a storyteller, the audience should just look at you. The eyes should be on you. They should hear you. They should understand you. There's an emotional connect that you get. You cannot talk about, data when you're doing a storytelling. There should be some. I do not deny the fact. But yes, the story should convey the message. It helps you preserve your culture. Today we all talk about a lot of moral lessons and stories that we would have learned. I think I learned it from a lot of stories that I read on Panchatantra. And most of you as well. Right? I'm not sure if a few of you who are from the younger generation, I feel I'm old, yeah, agree. But yeah, it's one of the strongest books that I feel made me learn a lot of moral lessons. How did it start? The evolution of storytelling is very, very fascinating, right? Human beings were not human beings. We all evolved. Similarly, storytelling as well evolved. From cave paintings to some art forms, to some scriptures in the civilization. That is where all it started. And how do you interpret it? It is just because of the connect that you have, you interpret it. And there are oral traditions. If you look at the picture there, I put it on purpose because the family is sitting and sharing a story with each other. I remember a lot of family stories. The one that I gave you, it is because one of my family members told me the story. And I got a business perspective out of it. Right? And today, after 30 years as well, I remember the story. I recall the story. And it is about how they put across that story to me. That's very important for a storyteller. How do they do it? And in families, when you sit together over a dinner, over a cup of coffee, over a snack, you're traveling together, on a train or on a car, there are these stories which are very, very powerful. And there are a lot of stories that you see as well. Then came the written narratives. Right became very powerful. Right? A lot of us remember Shakespeare, fictional. Still, the art of story kept us alive. Right? It's not that he did it from a perspective of becoming famous, but he just penned his thoughts. And a lot of it, when I read, recollect, and resonate with, because in my daily life sometimes, I feel these are similar situations that I go through. Then came the modern era, the 1900s. Electricity, radio, films, TV. All of us remember the ads on All India Radio. All of us remember the ads on the movies. Just before the movie started, you had a small ad about Lux, Coca-Cola, or something else. So the recall value is there. I still remember those, chimes. They always click in my mind and they don't go. Then came TVs. TVs offered us a lot of, information at our home. You didn't need to go anywhere. There was Doordarshan, then there came channels. The channels became very, very specific. There is a sports channel, there are multiple sports channels, there are news channels. And again, the art of storytelling became a little alive. Why did it become alive? It is because you got channels like Nat Geo, Discovery, who gave you a lot of history, who gave you a lot of science, but in a storytelling format. So storytelling again evolved. Yes, we are in the digital age. Internet, AI, I don't know what. Your attention spans are very, very minimal. Here as well, I can see 30% audience thinking, "Kab khatam hoga iska yaar?" right? So yeah, we moved to the digital age, and all our presentations, storytelling had 70% data. What happened there? While we focused on data, we forgot the art of storytelling. I think it took a backseat. Everything became very, very analytical. Yeah, SI, graph is gone up, graph is gone down. This is the profit margin. That's the population ratio. That's the gender ratio. What not, right? Had we mixed it properly with the aspect of story, it would have been amazing. Who's that? Okay. There were some innovations in storytelling, and we are seeing those innovations. I see that our storytelling has become, a little more specific, because what do? You go to social media, you go to OTT platforms, you just browse saying, I want to go for a picnic today. And imagine there will be a lot of ads and stories that come up to you which attract you towards them. So today it is at your fingertips. And what is the future? I would say the future is very simple and straightforward: augmented reality, virtual reality. Storytelling is going to become very, very interactive. So there is a lot of change that we have seen. I think the kids these days, they don't like watching normal movies. They say 3D movie dekhna hai. They feel a part of it. They feel that, they are in the movie. That is what science is brought to us. That is what digital age is brought to us. That's where storytelling will be. Just before I wind up, I'll not take more than 2 minutes. I have a small story, and maybe I'll put it back to the audience to ask if they can tell me who the person is. There was an individual in the early 1900s. He was born to a wealthy Indian businessman. His mother was a French, studied in France, England, Japan, and then he comes back to India, served in the military for the French for about a year or two, and he says, "Main India ghar wapas jaunga." Comes back to India. In the first few months of his stay in India in Mumbai, he is served with a notice of driving rashly on the Mumbai roads. Then he goes to a lawyer. The lawyer saves him. He marries the lawyer. Any I'm talking about? Me? I'm not 1900s. Anita, good shot. So after listening to the story, what do you feel? What will this person be? A brat? Bigda hua baap ka? Right? You know who it was? Respectable JRD Tata. So I heard this story from someone, I still remember it, and see what happened to us. He was the first one who had a commercial pilot license in India. He was the one who gave us Tata Airlines, which later became Air India. At that point of time, it was also coined as world's best airline. So on that note, storytelling has evolved. And yes, we will still keep the art of storytelling, but use science and technology. Thank you so much.